to all of that, I'm joined by football reporter Rob Schofield. Rob, thanks for being here.
Nice.
Not long now till kick-off at St James's Park.
No, 15 minutes or so until this game gets underway. And as you mentioned, Newcastle actually won this one last season. But the most important thing for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City is trying to close that gap to 6 points to Liverpool before Jurgen Klopp's side play Brighton a little bit later on today. Now, Newcastle have picked up scalps against Manchester United and Spurs this season, but they are so short of goals up front, one between their front three in 45 Premier League appearances combined. They are really struggling, and I don't think the players arriving at the St James's Park today will have too many issues. David Silva, Riyad Mahrez coming back into the team. I think their emphasis today will be on finding those pockets of space and trying to find a breakthrough.
Meanwhile, in London, not too long for Freddie Ljungberg to get his head around the job in front of him as caretaker manager at Arsenal following the sacking of Unai Emery.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll take his side to Norwich on Sunday. And Ljungberg's taking over a team just completely shot of confidence. They're leaking goals at the back. And Arsenal sacked Unai Emery on Friday after this longest winless run since 1992. 8th in the Premier League, 8 points off the top four. And in a letter to the fans, Emery said in the last 24 hours, not a single day has gone by without me stopping to think how lucky I am to have been able to work for this club. You can see his enthusiasm on the training ground there. And I would have liked, he says, nothing more than to have achieved better results for you. And for all the poor performances and the way they've kind of slid down the table in recent weeks, there was a hesitancy from the Arsenal board to sack Emery, but I think the reaction from the fans at the Emirates Stadium really kind of forced their hand. We've actually been down to the ground to hear what the fans have made of the news.
It was time for him to go, unfortunately, and I'm a little sad he's gone because as a human being, I think he's brilliant, but the club
as a manager, not so brilliant.
Yeah, I think the club was a bit too big for him.
The approach wasn't really that of a manager of a big club. We didn't sort of impose ourselves on our opposition.
He had to go. His time was up. We have no loyalty to him, and you can see the players were not playing for him. The performances on the pitch were absolutely shocking at times.
We'll wait to see what's next for Unai Emery. One man, though, is back in club management, and that's Jurgen Klinsmann. Tough start for him in the Bundesliga on Saturday, though.
Yeah, the new Hertha Berlin manager. I am fascinated by this appointment because here's a man who hasn't managed in Germany for 10 years. He's moved down from an advisory role to take charge for the rest of the season. And Hertha just underperforming so much. They're out of the relegation playoff on goal difference alone. And they've seen their promoted city rivals Union Berlin actually go 5 points clear of them this season, are doing so well. And Hertha have this feeling that they should be a bigger club. You know, they're there in the German capital. They should be playing amongst the big boys. And here we are. And whatever's said of Jurgen Klinsmann and his laid-back approach to management, here is a man who is such a project manager. You look at his legacy with the German national team, the coaches he brought in there, Joachim Löw and Hansi Flick, who's now in interim charge at Bayern, and the legacy he left the US national team as well. So interesting to see how he gets on. His task today, though, is a home game against Borussia Dortmund, whose manager Lucien Favre, who actually used to be at Hertha, is under serious pressure there. Elsewhere today, with Gladbach not playing until Sunday, both Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig, we can see there, can actually move top of the Bundesliga. As for what's happening in Spain today, Barcelona, they're playing Atletico on Sunday. So similarly, a brilliant chance for Real Madrid, who are actually in action at 15 minutes or so gone in their game against Deportivo Alaves to move top for Real Madrid. And then when we just move into Italy today, one thing really stands out, Chetan, the first Lombard derby in 13 years, Brescia against Atalanta. And this one is nasty. It's a rivalry that's actually began in the 12th century, if you can believe that, involved the Holy Roman Emperor. Have a little look into that when we're finished.
Yeah, absolutely, all of that history. Meanwhile, on Saturday as well, big day. We've got all eyes on Bucharest at the moment for the draw for next season's, or next year's, I should say, Euro 2020.
Yeah, there's always so much anticipation for the draw and seeing how the tournament's going to map out. It is a bit complicated. I'll break down the two main issues here, the things to keep an eye on. The four pots are seeded determining to points gained and qualifying performance, not world rankings. So England, Italy, Belgium, Spain, Germany and Ukraine are the top seeds. So France, despite winning the World Cup, they're in pot 2. Portugal, defending champions, they're in pot 3. And also the important thing here is the fact that the 6 groups are actually split into where they will be played. So the host nations must play the majority of their games at home. So what we see here is the likes of England will be in Group D, for example, because that is the group where the majority of the group games have been played at Wembley. Italy, A, for example, most of the games being played in Rome. 20 of the 24 teams at the Euro 2020 decided. We'll wait till March to see which 4 teams come through the playoffs.
Great stuff. Few hours to go until that draw. Rob Schofield, thank you.